What's up, everybody? So I was putting together a kind of a rough-in for a macro reef tank that I was going to build, and I think I put some pictures up on Instagram regarding, and you can find it on Lone Aquarist on Instagram. I was going to set this up because I had some fish in quarantine. A couple of my clownfish had brook or signs of brook, so I've been treating them with some formalin via Ruby Reef Rally, right? So they're in their quarantine, taking care of business there. And in the meantime, I was going to go ahead and set this 40-gallon breeder up with a 24/7 Finnex planted light. And I've been using a light like this in my other macro tank. And I had it all set up. Had all there's miracle mud inside here. I had it actually filled, and I had some nice tropic Eden reef flakes, which is an amazing sand. So in case I need to get a sand sifting goby or something, this is really good for them. But the thing is, I ended up using these really tight bulkheads, like these really nice bulkheads from Banjo. And here I can show you kind of a little more close what it looks like. So Banjo, look at this. I want to show you the O-ring. So put on this white mat here. This O-ring, look at the size of this thing, right? And this is the smaller one. I was using this as a return. And you can see the quality. It's just really good. So what I did just basically to put this together is, I drilled the tank. And I fear, what I was going to do 2 drains and then 1 return. And on you can see what I ended up doing here. And you can see there's some sealant here. I believe this drill did not, must have hurt the integrity of the glass. Either it was too close to these 2 holes, which are fine, but I had filled the tank up. It wasn't leaking for a couple of days. Everything was great. And then all of a sudden I see water appearing down here, and I didn't know why. I thought it was basically the Fluval 406 that was basically springing a leak, but it wasn't. What ended up happening, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, it just cracked. And luckily it didn't blow out, but it cracked all the way to down there. So I had the opportunity to immediately drain the tank, and so now I took this one off because I had another 40 breeder I was using as a QT, and I'm going to go ahead and set that up, but you can kind of see what I ended up doing here. So I have these 2 drain systems. All they were doing is just going down to this Rubbermaid tub, which basically has another Rubbermaid piece on top, and they just kind of go into some physical or actual mechanical filtration, which is just a series of finer and finer pads, and underneath that is live rock, and I believe I have some matrix, pond matrix inside here as well, and then some Italomat. And then from here, hopefully there's clear, would be, at some point will be the skimmer that I have in the garage. I'll pull out here. And the Fluval was going to be used as a closed loop system. It would be underneath this this nice rack. And this guy basically is just filled with Biohome ceramic media. And it is just going to contain all of the biofiltration. So got a lot of mechanical filtration happening here. Hopefully the water is extremely cleaned out here, and then there's at the very base there's some, I think it's a 30 ppi filter sponges that should filter out really fine particulates, but it's also going to be hopefully not so much, but it's mostly about biofiltration. And from there, that's going to go and fed back up into here, and it came out, and it was really nice. I had a nice little setup. The Fluval connection fits right into a sort of a nipple that pops out of here, and then I had lock line that was able to kind of go, so it would have some nice flow, because I didn't really need strong flow in here. But anyways, it cracked. So now I have this thing drained, and you can see I have wet wood, and it smells, and I'm just like, man, it's right in my office. So yeah, it's really disappointing. ultimately what I was going to do, well, I'm still going to do it because I have another 40 breeder, so I'm not going to do 2 drains. I'm going to just do, I believe what I can do now is just 1 drain, and then I'm tempted to do the small drain again, or just basically get a hangover lock line that just kind of like with like the spray nozzle, so that I can have the surface agitation and some circulation. And what I'm going to do is actually just get some nice wood stained, and actually just have it so that it has a lip, so it rests right on top of this, so you can't see this frame. And then I got some really strong magnets that I was going to attach here and here, and that basically was going to be nice stained wood, the same wood that'd be on top. And so you have this really nice looking glass tank, and you can't see the frame, as opposed to trying to make this thing frameless or spending extra money, because this is a, you know, I got this at $1 per gallon sale over at Petco or PetSmart. But I had it tested, everything was working great. The light is really nice, and I was just wanting to get those fish into here, because after they're inside of their Ruby Reef Rally bath for about a week, you know, this would be a nice clean system. So, and I was hoping it was going to be cycled by then in terms of just having fish. And the way I would do that basically is that I had seeded this with Biohome filtration bacteria, as well as Dr. Tim's one and only. But unfortunately now, I got to try and do that again. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's the update on this. So I'm going to see what I can do. I was going to try to do mixed wood and stone. I was going to get a couple more stone blocks, maybe some dragon stone in here, and kind of do a marine planted tank. That was basically my idea on this tank. So, but anyways, just want to let you know, these guys are amazing. Those other ones that you can get off of eBay and Amazon that are like really cheap, not really worth it. I have those in some other tanks, but these are just amazing, super strong. Got these on Amazon as well. I mean, the 1-inch ones, strangely, are cheaper. They seem to be like about $10 a piece. And the smaller one I got here for the return, which is about a 3/4 inch, I think that was a little bit more. I'm not sure why. Actually, no, this was 7. Yeah, so the 1-inch ones are 7. So it's the diameter of the ring, though, ended up being about, I think it's, you got to have about a 2 1/4 inch hole. And then for this guy, you're looking at, I think it was about 49 or 51 millimeter hole for this. And my bit was a little bit off. So, and I think that's what caused damage here. Also, the bit that I had it had a point drill, and I think when you have the point, that kind of helps with stability. But the problem is that you actually have to push on it slightly to get the circular bit of the outer edges of the drill to press on the glass, and so you have some unwanted pressure. Whereas on these guys, I just went ahead and got a couple of the cheap ones that you can get off of Amazon. There's no center bit. This was a more expensive drill bit. But those, you don't need to put any pressure, because basically all you're doing is just letting the bit itself do the scoring and just have some water running and you're good to go. Oh, one more thing. I got to show this to you. So the method that I did, and you can probably, I think you can see it in some of the pictures that I put, maybe I'll post it in this video. I had used plumber's putty around it to kind of contain a reservoir of water as I drilled into the tank. Problem. So, and this is me just trying to rush, I did not notice that the plumber's putty, as it mixes with the water, some of the residue actually had creeped up into the back of the frame. So you can notice in the back of the frame, there's about, oh gosh, it's almost an inch. And it went inside the back here. And when I was all done and everything was ready to go, I had cleaned off this. I never looked on the underside. And I went ahead and spray painted the back here to make it black. And so that caused this issue, which is this. But I wasn't too concerned about it. Reason being is that since I was going to have this pretty much a 12-inch hood or block, so I don't have this light kind of spilling out, I would never see that. So it was just something that was just going to be there, and it's not causing any issues or anything. So yeah, left it in. Anyways, once I start drilling the other tank, or let you know what happens, because I still have to find a way. Once I get the other tank ready, I got to scoop all this stuff out of here and put that into a bucket, and then hopefully, you know, nothing gets damaged, just doesn't break any further. So, well, yeah, so let's see how that goes, and I will I'll post another update. But anyway, yeah, I should talk about this too, because this is so. What I liked about this, and I don't think it's meant to do this, but basically, if you get these Finnex 20% planted lights, which are really cool, they do come with this little lock that slides in to the ridge. There's like a sort of a channel here, if you can see. And all I did was just buy just a small cheap kit to hang them up, and it turned out really nice. So actually, it doesn't come with a hanging kit, but it's really sturdy. It's not going to come out unless you're going to need to pop it out yourself. But it looks really good. So that's actually really nice. And that way I didn't have to have it actually mounted down here, and I can kind of like lower it and raise it depending where I want to be in case I want some of the wood to kind of come out of the water a little bit. So, yeah. Anyways, I got to get back to work, actually work out of my office at home. So I will let you guys know how this turns out.